back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. And viewers, well, yes, you just heard a little bit from the press conference yesterday evening. Follow update on what's been happening with the oil spill cleanup and all the interventions that need to be made. And of course, if you want more information, you could always visit our pages to see the rest of that. But in the meantime, now I'm going to take my attention to my guest for this morning, and that is Mr. Andrew John Smith, and he is a bespoke tailor, and he is owner of Precision Cut Tailoring. So a special good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning to you, Kandace. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
All right, so now you are a tailor, and first of all, tell me about what attracted you to being a tailor.
Well, this journey all started when I was 14 years of age. And as I shared in previous interviews, my mom had this old Singer sewing machine, and she would, because she's involved in some sewing as well, right, but not on a large scale. And I would have been, just playing around with the machine, tearing up clothes, sewing it back together and stuff like that. And, I realized that I had a natural ability or a liking for sewing, fashion and design. So, that's where it all started at age 14, right in my mother's living room on an old Singer sewing machine.
Nice. And then, of course, that grew into you having your own business where you make suits for Chief Secretary and Senator Lawrence Hislop and others.
Yeah, correct.
Tell me about that.
Well, so if I should follow up from where the journey started, there was a process that I had to go through in terms of me finding someone to help me, of course, enhance the natural ability and not depending only on what I know, what I think I know. Right, so upon, pursuing this person to help me enhance the natural ability, that in itself was a difficult task, but, I never give up. I, continued knocking on doors until one day I was given the opportunity to only sit and observe, no questions asked. And so most of what I know today, it would have been I learned from observation. And all this, led up to me meeting up with Farley Augustine, even before he became Chief Secretary. Also, Ansel Dennis, I knew also before he became Chief Secretary. And, they are both my clients. And upon, Farley and Ansel Dennis, wearing my suits, other people saw them and reached out to me, Senator Lawrence Hislop being one of those persons. And then when I made a couple suits for Senator Lawrence Hislop, and he went to Trinidad with these suits, and then other senators in the parliament saw them and reached out to me as well. So, it was a kind of chain reaction from Ansel to Farley to Senator Lawrence Hislop. I have many other clients. I did work for Secretary Orlando Kerr, Secretary Zia Hackett, Assistant Secretary, Orlando Kerr, and also Dr. Faith, and I have a few, other clients in the assembly as well.
And that's wonderful. But you're not just making suits for people, but you're also wanting to share your knowledge with others within the space. So tell me about that.
So back in 2015 or late 2014, I would have been employed with the Tobago Regional Health Authority. And, upon being there, I would have been doing my sewing on the side, but also knowing that I need to do something much more than just the sewing and, being employed with the government. I felt like, there was something more that I needed to do. And I took the risk of, resigning the government job, of course, with a plan and purpose that I'm going to pursue my tailoring career. And not only pursue the tailoring career, but one thing that I know for sure that I wanted to do was also share the knowledge. In fact, I could remember just before I resigned, a co-worker asked me, well, what are you going to do? What is the plan? I said, well, one thing I know for sure is that I'm going to pursue my tailoring career, and I want training or sharing the knowledge or having a tailoring school to be a very big part of the plan. And it took me a couple of years, before I actually started the training. In fact, this training program actually kicked off in the pandemic in 2021. And, it was a plan that I always had on the table. But because I do custom work, I'm always, filling client orders and never having the time to work on this training program. And, with the set of lockdowns and stuff like that, I just, focused my attention into building the training program. And, I had it up and running in 2021. And so far, I would have trained approximately 18 to 20 persons, right? 4 of those 20 persons would have done jacket coat making, and the others would have done some dressmaking, pants and stuff like that.
And you're wanting to expand that training now?
Well, yes, we are continuing with a second cycle. So we covered one before, and we are now heading into the second cycle, which promises to be great.
And tell me what, like, just give us I've seen the flyer a little bit, but just give us some details of what we can expect in these training sessions.
Okay, well, first of all, these training sessions are not for beginners, right? You must have some kind of, some level of experience, some foreknowledge on tailoring. So we want to kick off this year with jacket making, right? That's the longest course and the most time-consuming course. And then we will flow into pants, waistcoat, and then shirt making. But it's not a whole course. Everything is broken up. So the jacket is one by itself, pants is one by itself, and so on. Right. So if you want to do the jacket and you're not interested in doing pants and waistcoat, then you could just fall out after you do the jacket. Or if your desire is to continue, then you're free to do so.
And then what was the outcome of those who passed through some of your courses before?
Well, it was really, really good. Excellent. So I know that 2 of the persons who did the jacket course, they are now, making jackets for clients, all in Trinidad, in Tobago. And those who did the pants making, I mean, most persons came into the class to learn for themselves. And there were very few that, just wanted to enhance, to provide a better quality for clients. Right, and so I could say, safely say that everybody who participated in the class have the quality in their work. There's big changes. A bigger clientele. Some people even resigned their job and went into sewing full time. So it was really good.
And so it's almost as if you are sparking a little bit of a tailoring industry here in Tobago as well.
Well, of course, yeah. Now, there are good tailors in Tobago, right? But, from the different studies that I've done, British tailoring, American, some Chinese, I could say that the knowledge was handed down. But, there's always room for improvement, and I'm trying to kind of work on that so that, we wouldn't continue with, this level of tailoring, but, we could take it up a notch. We could go to higher levels. So I'm more, focused on sharing this knowledge to, to raise the level of tailoring in Tobago to a higher level.
What do you like most about tailoring?
Well, I have a passion for it, right? Buying a flat piece of fabric and buying a flat piece of fabric and, taking that flat piece of fabric and giving it shape, form, dimension, and creating, a beautiful garment, wrapping around the silhouette of a person. It's just satisfying, to see when they finish a piece of garment and you drape it on the mannequin. Sometimes I just sit and admire it for a while, look to see where you can make improvements, look to see what you could do differently next time. So the whole process of making the suit, from talking with the client, from going to the fabric store to purchase the fabric, from the pattern drafting, construction, and the finished product, seeing the satisfied smile of a customer, that's worth much more than money. So the whole process of making a suit, the whole thing is enjoyable.
Certainly, and I think he brought some. We brought some of your suits.
Yes,
today. I think we're gonna get some look at them. So, tell me about this piece.
Okay, so this one is a single-breasted jacket with a peak lapel and pocket flaps. It's a a nice light green. And if you look at the tie, you would see the tie have some hints of green in it as well, but also some contrasting colors.
To make it pop.
Yes, to make it pop. And if you notice the shape of the garment, the cut, the knit waistline, how well the sleeves drape, how smooth the shoulders are. You know, all this is what we would be teaching in the training program.
All right, and so yeah, and how can people get connected with the training program? How can they get in contact with you?
Well, you could contact me directly on my cell phone. My contact number is 491-6219. That's 491-6219. Or you could reach out to me on Instagram at Andrew John Smith. You could message me through the page directly. My email and everything is on the page. So once you go to the page on Facebook or Instagram, you could connect with me from there. The flyers are on the page, right? Or you could just call me direct for more details.
And of course, we're still seeing some more. And was that ladies?
No, that's men. That's men. It's a trench coat. That's for the cold.
Right. So, and of course, this is not just tailoring mostly deals with male wear, but of course we know that there's some women involved in it as well.
Of course, tailoring is not just male wear, right? Tailoring, it involves male and female clothing, right? So a female could be a tailor because tailoring is just a trade, like anything else, like mechanics or carpentry. It's a trade. A man could be a seamstress as well because there's a certain type of work that a seamstress does. So it's a trade, right? There's no gender. It's not gender bias. It's a trade. So male and female falls under any bracket.
Certainly. And you definitely do have a lot of knowledge to share. So viewers, if you are interested, if you know anybody who is interested in improving their tailoring skills or even just becoming a tailor themselves, well, you can get connected with Mr. Smith and he can assist you. So yeah, and just before we go, just the contacts again to how they can get connected with the next cycle of your training, the tailoring class.
Yes, so anybody who is interested in falling in the second cycle, you could contact me at 491-6219. Right, that's 491-6219, or you could just go to my page on Instagram, type in Andrew John Smith, and you would see all the flyers and information on trainings right there on the page. You could email me because my email address is also on the Instagram page. You could also call me direct, and we could have a one-on-one conversation if there's anything that anybody is not clear about.
Great. Well, I want to thank you so much, Mr. John Smith, for being on with us and for sharing your passion and ensuring that we can have a greater culture of tailoring here in Tobago.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much. All right, well, viewers, we're going to go for a quick break and we'll be right back right after this.
To wake up and hear me neighbor, 60,000 people